First of all, laws are made, and when you do things globally, whether you do them globally, whether you do them local, county-wise, statewide, national-wide, or anything, laws should be equal. So what I'm saying there is, if we go to this global thing and they say these are the rules, then the rules should apply to us the same as they do to China, the same as they do to India, the same as they do to every other country. And if it doesn't do that simple thing, then it's BS. Then you shouldn't go for it at all.
That's just common sense.
That's common sense. It has to be equality across the board.
Equal protection.
And you can't penalize one area while allowing another area to do it.
Equal protection under the law. Governor,
Exactly.
that's what I like about you, is that in your, decades on the scene, you have evolved, you've changed, you've learned, you've admitted when you've been wrong. Most people in politics, in society, will not do that. They will never admit that they have changed their views.
Well, the only thing that changes views is knowledge, and when you become knowledgeable on things, that gives you the ability to change a view. If you remain ignorant on a subject, well, then you're not going to change your view, and there's no possibility of that happening. Alex, one of the things that I was very honest about when I became governor, we have 24 commissioners that run 24 separate departments of state government. How can you possibly go out to the public and tell them that you're an expert in all of those 24 fields?
You can't. It'd be a lie.
You can't. And therefore, you rely on experts in the field. And that's, to me, is true leadership. The ability to delegate authority to people you trust, allow them to do their jobs. If they shine, you shine. It's that simple. If they do a great job, for me, when I'm governor, even though I don't take a direct hand in it, it's his baby, I still shine in the end. And
that's a really good point.
To me, is true leadership and management.
It certainly is. This Copenhagen, Denmark event is coming up, and Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the UN, wrote an editorial titled, "We Can Do It," where he said, global government is here. The key to world government is this planetary regime that will control all the nations and control resources, and the carbon tax is the key. Then last week, Van Rompuy, the new head of the European Union, and said this on the BBC. We're going to play that clip right now. Here it is.
2009 is also the first year of global governance, with the establishment of the G20 in the middle of the financial crisis. The climate conference in Copenhagen is another step towards the global management of our planet. Our mission, our presidency, is one of hope, supported by acts...
Okay, there you go. Governor, how can they be announcing world government everywhere, but then call us conspiracy theorists if we discuss the world government?
Well, again, utterly ridiculous. There's a simple thing and a simple rule, Alex, that I think everybody needs to reassess, and that is always judge someone. Don't necessarily judge them by what they say, judge them by what they do. And when they're doing something, no matter what they say, judge by what they're doing. And now, the whole globalization thing, I kind of view it like this in a way. Maybe it's inevitable, Alex.
But the problem is
Let me finish, though. Maybe because with our technology and the way, I believe in evolution. I'm not one of these people that throws Darwin's theory out the window and says, I believe in evolution because I see it on a daily basis. And I'm not saying I'm in support of the globalization of the planet, but maybe it's evolution. Maybe through technology, the world gets so small that we will eventually, maybe not in our lifetime, but 100 years from now, maybe that's the direction that it'll go. And I don't know, is there anything that can be done about it?
Let me give you my take on this, and I'm honored to be able to give you my take because you influence a lot of people. Nationalism and sovereignty and borders give people a chance to flee tyranny and also gives coalitions like the Allies a chance to defeat Hitler and Mussolini and the Imperial Japanese. Let's say we got a loving world government in place. statistically, it's an absolute certainty that over time, a tyranny will take control of that global government. But it's worse than that. We know the groups setting up world government are tyrannical, are eugenicist. I have the Times of London headline, world's rich meet in secret to discuss overpopulation and how to depopulate. We know that they don't want us as a people of the planet. If people of the planet want world government, then that's their issue. They've been building this in secret so we wouldn't have any input in it, and it's not 100 years. We're beginning to go under this right now.
Well, and again, I guess I don't like it, Alex, but because it does run that risk. The big, huge risk is what would the global government be, and would it be a government you'd like, and what would happen if it did become tyrannical, and you make great points, that borders are there so you can flee and have the sanctuary of it. But then on the flip side, though, if you truly had a good global government, wouldn't that reduce the chance of war?
That's how the globalists sold it, but their internal documents have come out.
Well, I'm just saying from a layman's point of view, if the global government were indeed good, and let's say we're being utopic here,
pigs fly,
and we'll take the best thing we can and say that it's a good global government. Well, and elected and all of that stuff. Well, wouldn't that kind of help to eliminate war? Because now you got so much animosity with these borders and between countries, and how often are they manipulated and turned against each other
yes.
to kill each other? Isn't war kind of a way to reduce the world population?
That's what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. The group setting up the world government wants it so big blocks of the government can make rules on countries and have a pretext to invade them. What I'm saying is the global government's here, and it's being set up by people that want to use it as a tool of empire. That's all the world government is a private corporate empire.
Well, then I can unequivocally tell you I oppose it.
Good.
And we'll work completely against it if that's what it truly is turning into.
That is exactly what it is, Governor, and it's exciting to have you hearing the facts and saying you're going to oppose the global government. And anytime I can brief you or give you any solid research or information, I know you're a busy guy, I would love to provide you original statements by the entire leadership of this group.
No problem. I'll get them from you when I get back from surfing, Alex.
You haven't had a chance to go surfing yet, have you?
Yeah, I have not. I thought I'd be in Mexico by now, but you know what? My mental attitude was this. I thought, I'd rather stay up here, get everything done, get it finished, lock, stock, and barrel, lock the door so that when I do go to Mexico, I don't have to come back till May or June.
Well, when I talked to you a few weeks ago, you were not going to do Raw because you wanted to go surfing, but I guess you decided to do it.
Well, it came down to certain things happened behind the scenes which were positive, and it came down to promotion of the show. It was such a powerful, because, Raw is a very highly watched program in this country, whether people will admit it or not.
Tens of millions.
Extremely popular. And between the network and myself, and we felt that it was a very strong promotional tool that we should use to attempt to ensure the success of the show. So I kind of swallowed my ego a little bit and my personal feelings or animosities that may have been lingering out there a little for the good of the show. It's the old sacrifice, You may have certain things that you don't like, but for the good of the big picture, you're willing to, sacrifice for the success of it. And call it compromising a little. Compromise doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Well, it certainly only helped the show, so I think it's great. But certainly you had a rocky relationship with Vince McMahon, won a big lawsuit against him, one of the few wrestlers to ever successfully actually be paid retirement for your work. And, if people live long enough, it's kind of good to become friends with your enemies again.
Actually, though, I don't have an official retirement. It's the result of the court case, but I call it my wrestling retirement. There is no retirement in wrestling.
But are you and Vince friends now?
I guess if you'd use the old cliche of keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So I would say he lies somewhere in between friend and enemy in the closeness.
Well, I tell you, there's probably 50 million, 60 million wrestling fans of that form of theater out there. And to have you there educating them about the New World Order, that's only a win-win-win.
Well, it's you know, wrestling fans are a very loyal group of people. They're a great group of people. They take a lot of abuse because they like the sport. But what people need to understand is wrestling is like ballet with violence. The performers are exceptional athletes. It's a great form of entertainment. I used to always tell people, you know, when people go to the wrestling matches, they get so enthusiastic, they leave it all there. I would be willing to bet that when they go home at night, there's never an act of violence committed because they're too damn tired.
Well, it is acrobats. I mean, it's acrobatic.
What it is, it's very ad-lib. People don't realize it's like live theater. It's like looking at live theater as opposed to a movie. When you do a movie, if you screw up a shot, they can shoot it 10 times until they're satisfied.